Our exploration of the Irwell's tributaries now takes us to the River Roch. The Roch rises from a spring on Chilburn Moor, then follows a roughly south-western course to join the Irwell south of Bury. It's generally a slow-moving river. It's not always very scenic and not always accessible, but there is plenty of interest to see along the way, including the town that bears its name. It also has two tributaries of its own, the Beal and the Spodden, which we'll be covering in due course.
Okay.
Well, hello to another... Hello, and welcome to another exciting series of All the Rivers. Now we're covering the River Roch over a series of videos. Here we're up on a hill above Littleborough. Just had a very lovely Yorkie, very nice. And yeah, let's go to Dad's exposition. But first, let's take a look at this magnificent view. Lovely.
Hello. Up here near to this bridge, somewhere is the source of the Roch. The original source of the Roch is around here, but the drain here, which was built to serve the canal, cut it off. So now the Roch is one of two streams that are marked on the map, but they're not that clear on the ground because of the tussocks, and the map is not very committed as to which one actually is the Roch. Now, I expected this video to be very difficult because there's always been a right of way here that roughly follows the Roch down the hillside, but it was never visible on the ground. Now they have actually staked it out, so there is a clear path and it's going to be a much easier walk than I anticipated. We really are up on the Pennine watershed here, because only about a mile or so away that way is the start of the River Ryburn, but the Ryburn flows to the east into Yorkshire, whereas the Roch flows to the west to join the River Irwell. And this is my hometown, my home area, so can be quite verbose here because I know quite a bit about it. So. But I'll try and bring sound in where possible.
Giggity giggity go.
Hello, we're about 100 yards down the path from the edge, and haven't quite seen much of either stream yet. That one's course here to the left is a bit more pronounced at this point than this one, which is still well hidden in the grass. Though odd little tree here, it looks like someone's planted it. It's really out of place. Whether it survives or not, I don't know. We'll plod on down. Hopefully the Roch will be a bit less shy a bit further down. Now, these bit of rocks here off to the right of the path, I've only decided to film these because the website geograph.org.uk actually says that that's the start of the Roch. I'm not so sure it is, but I've noted it still.
Shall I try walking over that?
If you want, Simon.
And then let's have a look.
What? Okay. Yeah, I know. This is what it used to be like before the path, Simon. So yeah, so yes, this is one of the streams that's a candidate for the Roch. So I guess the person who put the picture on Geograph decided to plumb for this one. So yeah, possibly the infant river roach. As you can see, it will eventually come close to where the path is and merge with the stream on that side.
May I just point out, if you look just over that way,
Yeah.
if you hold it up high, you can see a tiny, what looks to be a little hole where it's coming out from, so I think it might start underground.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're a bit further down the path now, and it has diverged away from the streams, which have now united, and it's a bit more obvious that there's a channel down there, and they're going to meet a more substantial stream actually called Lighthouse's Beck, which you can see running down that way. But at that point, man has interfered a bit. I'll leave you with that thought until we get there. Hello, well here's a bit of a turn up. This is a major junction of waterways. Our two streams, which constitute the Roch, have joined with Lighthouse's Beck there, but here they come across a man-made watercourse called Solomon Cutting, which was built to serve the canal, and that steals a lot of the water and lets the Roch go out that way. So that is the point where it actually is named on the maps as the River Roch. So from this point there is no dispute as to where the Roch is. But it's quite an interesting spot. Hello, the Roch follows this little valley you can see here to emerge just below the farm. You can get as far as the boundary wall, which you can't see from here because this is right to roam land, although the land around the farm itself, Lighthouse's farm, that's private, but the track you can see leading up and beyond it, that is a public footpath if you wanted to see the Roch coming down that way. It looks a pretty rough passage, so I think you've got the sense of what sort of countryside it is, so we'll catch up with it a bit lower down. Hello, we're looking back up the Roch Valley from the track to Lighthouse's farm here, and you can see there that's looking back to Solomon's Cutting. The river takes a path down here towards the farm, but before it gets to the farm it takes a swing to the left and goes down this fairly deep channel. It actually drops quite steeply just beyond here, and if you're following the footpath it's on your left hand side as you walk down towards Summit, but it's still very narrow and hidden by vegetation, so you really have to look for it if you want to see it.
Is this rose bush?
No, I think it's a hawthorn bush, Simon.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Okay, that was the last bit of climbing.
Good.
Right, so as you can see, the River Roch is this tiny little channel by the side of the road. You know, insignificant. You wouldn't think this would give its name to a sizable town a few miles down the valley, but from small acorns and all that. And while you're looking at the Roch to your left, on your right, there's an alpaca farm. So, yeah, Northern Industrial River and South American fauna. Who would have thought it? At the end of the footpath from Lighthouse Farm, there's a bridge over the River Roch, and I think it quite likely there's a nice little stone bridge underneath this wooden planking, but perhaps it needed to be strengthened for vehicles, and that's our sighting of the Roch riverbed. Not a great deal of water flowing at the moment, is there? So, we're now walking with the Roch to our right towards the Rochdale Canal.
Remember Roch and Dale?
Yeah. So where's it go from here? So at this point the Roch has disappeared somewhere under this little building, and I presume it was diverted to under the canal.